People often say that Canadians are loved everywhere, but is that still true in 2025? What if your Canadian passport, once welcomed with smiles, now gets you stopped or even turned away at the border? Shocking, right? But it's happening. Suddenly, some countries are slamming the door shut. Not with big headlines, but with silent visa bans, tighter rules, or cold stares at immigration. Why? Is it political drama, rising global tension, or something deeper and more unsettling? But now they're saying, sorry, Canadians, not anymore. It's a strange and sad shift. One of the world's most polite and peaceful nations now finding itself quietly unwelcome in places it once felt at home. So before you grab your suitcase and tuck in your maple syrup, let's uncover the 7 countries where Canadians are no longer welcome in 2025 and the shocking reasons why. Number 7, North Korea. Imagine a place where every move you make is being watched, where saying the wrong thing or even just being in the wrong place could make you disappear without a trace. It sounds like something from a nightmare, but it's real. And shockingly, Canadians are still trying to go there. In 2025, North Korea isn't just mysterious, it's one of the most dangerous places on earth for Canadians. The Canadian government has given a serious warning: avoid all travel. This isn't just to scare people, it's because Canadians have actually been detained, questioned harshly, and completely cut off from the outside world. There's no Canadian embassy there, no lifeline. If something goes wrong, no one can come save you. And yet people still go. Why? Is it curiosity? The thrill of doing something risky? It's shocking how many apply to visit only to vanish into silence. In North Korea, even a simple opinion or wrong word could send you to prison. It's terrifying. So the big question is it really worth risking your life for a glimpse into the unknown? Number 6, United States. This is the last place anyone expected to land on a list like this. But here we are, 2025, and the relationship between Canada and its closest neighbor, the United States, has taken a strange and troubling turn. It's shocking. What once felt like an open door now feels more like a locked gate, especially for Canadian academics, journalists, or even regular travelers who happen to look suspicious. Many Canadian university professors are now being told don't go. Why? Because people are being stopped, questioned harshly, and even denied entry, sometimes without any explanation at all. You might think holding a Canadian passport is enough, but what if it's not anymore? What if that little red book doesn't protect you like it used to? Today, border agents have more power than ever. They can search you, take your stuff, and send you back, no reason given. The worst part? It's happening more than people realize. Canadians have been turned away at airports, stuck in long interrogations, and left confused and scared. How did it come to this, and who's going to be next? One thing's clear, something has changed, and not for the better. Number 5, Brazil. You'd think a country known for its colorful carnival, sunny beaches, and joyful samba would be happy to see tourists, right? But in 2025, Brazil gave Canadians a surprise that felt more like a slap than a samba. After years of visa-free travel, Brazil suddenly said, hold on, as of April 10th, Canadians now need a visa to enter the country again. Why the change? Officials say it's about fairness. Because Canada still asks some Brazilians for visas, Brazil decided to do the same, but the impact, way more painful than expected. Now Canadians have to apply weeks before travel, deal with confusing online forms, go to interviews, and hope for approval, all just to visit a beach. And it's not just paperwork. Some travelers say they were grilled about their plans, their social media, even why they came. It feels uncomfortable, even unwanted. Flight bookings are dropping fast. Airlines are canceling direct routes. Tour agencies are quietly telling people maybe try somewhere else. Dream trips are being canceled. For Canadians, Brazil's beautiful rainforests and waterfalls now feel heartbreakingly out of reach. So the question is, are we still welcome, or has the welcome mat been quietly rolled up? Number 4, Spain. It sounds like a dream, right? Warm Mediterranean beaches, beautiful historic cities, and delicious paella by the sea. But for Canadians in 2025, that dream is turning into something much darker, a quiet, unexpected nightmare. Spain, once a favorite vacation spot, has started putting up travel roadblocks. And yes, Canada is now on that list. Now, it's not a full ban, but something has clearly changed. The rules are tougher. The welcome feels colder. Canadians are now being stopped at the border and asked for more than just a smile and a return ticket. Some are even being denied entry. Officials now ask for proof of where you're staying, bank statements, and even health records. It's shocking, especially for a country that once opened its arms to tourists. Why is this happening? Some say it's about new EU-wide security, others whisper about political deals happening behind closed doors. But whatever the reason, Canadians seem to be caught in the middle of something much bigger. Travel agents across Europe are quietly flagging Canadian passports. Insurance companies are rethinking their policies. Tourists are left confused, even heartbroken. It feels like Canadians are slowly being pushed aside in a global game they didn't sign up for. So before you grab your passport and plan your Spanish getaway, ask yourself, will you really be allowed in? Because in 2025, having a Canadian passport might no longer be enough. Number 3, Syria. You can feel the deep history in the air, thousands of years of it. Ancient cities, old temples, and forgotten ruins tell stories of a proud past. But behind that beauty, something much more serious is happening. In 2025, Syria is still one of the most dangerous places for Canadians to visit. And it's not just because of war, it's because of what the war has left behind. Broken cities, no real government, armed groups roaming freely, confusing and dangerous alliances. It's not a place you can simply walk through safely. The Canadian government has made it very clear, do not travel. And yet, some Canadians still try. Some go because of family, others for charity, and some are pulled by memories or dreams of the past. But what they find is nothing like what they hoped. A Canadian passport won't protect you here. In fact, it might even put you in more danger. People are still being hit by airstrikes. Civilians are stuck between gunfire. Terrorist groups, some broken and some coming back stronger, are hiding and planning in the shadows. What's worse is that the danger isn't something you can see on a map. It can change in seconds. If you go, you're not just putting your safety on the line, you're risking your freedom. There are reports of foreigners, including Canadians, being taken and locked up without warning or a fair trial. In some areas, it's hard to tell who the police are and who the militias are. Once you're inside, getting out can feel impossible. Even Canadian aid groups who go there to help are under pressure. They're watched, restricted, and sometimes even threatened. Ready to escape at a moment's notice. And if you think being part of a charity or a mission makes you safe, think again. Syria isn't healing yet, it's still hurting. So before you dream of walking through the old streets of Damascus or standing among the ruins of Palmyra, ask yourself this: is the past worth risking your future? Because while the history might be beautiful, the present is heartbreaking and full of danger. Number 2, South Africa, a country full of beauty, culture, and adventure. The beaches are stunning, the wildlife is amazing, and the people are vibrant. It sounds like the perfect place for a vacation, doesn't it? But in 2025, something heartbreaking is happening. Canadians who once dreamed of visiting are now rethinking everything. And the reason is shocking. Would you believe that this dream destination has become one of the most dangerous places in the world for Canadians? It's hard to imagine when you see photos of safari animals or the ocean views, but behind all that beauty is a scary reality, one filled with crime, political problems, and economic struggles. Major cities like Johannesburg and Cape Town have seen a rise in violent crimes. We're not just talking about pickpocketing. People are being robbed at gunpoint, dragged out of cars, and even attacked. And guess who the targets are? Tourists, especially the ones who don't realize how dangerous it can be. In 2025, the Canadian government is warning travelers, be very careful, don't walk alone at night, avoid certain neighborhoods. Even locals are feeling scared, and when the people who live there don't feel safe, what does that mean for visitors? But the danger doesn't stop in the cities. Even the peaceful looking countryside isn't as safe as it seems. Safari parks and wildlife reserves, once seen as safe and relaxing, are now being targeted by armed poaching gangs. Some tourists have even been caught in terrifying situations far from help. It's heartbreaking, but South Africa's economy is also falling apart. Many people can't find jobs, prices are going up fast, families are struggling just to survive. And when people are desperate, crime becomes a way to get by. Theft, robbery, even violence. Sometimes it's not about greed, it's about survival. So before you pack your bags, before you plan that once in a lifetime trip to see lions and elephants or hike up Table Mountain, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Is it worth stepping into a place where danger could be waiting around the next corner? Because as beautiful as South Africa still is, in 2025, it's a place filled with deep pain, rising fear, and a growing sense of sadness for both visitors and locals alike. Number 1, Germany, a country rich with history, full of culture, and known for its strong economy. For many, it's the dream European destination. Walking the lively streets of Berlin, enjoying the famous beer gardens in Munich, or exploring the snowy Bavarian Alps. It all sounds magical, but in 2025, something surprising and a little heartbreaking is happening. Germany is changing, and for Canadians, it's no longer the easy, welcoming place it used to be. At first glance, you'd never guess anything is wrong, but dig a little deeper and the truth starts to hurt. Did you know that Germany has started making it much harder for people outside the European Union, including Canadians, to visit, work, or stay long term? Yes, it's shocking. A country that once opened its doors to Canadians now has stricter rules, more paperwork, and longer waiting times. If you're dreaming of working or studying there, be prepared for delays, stress, and disappointment. It gets worse. Canada's travel advisory for Germany in 2025 warns about new struggles in business and education. Work visas, they now need tons of documents and long approval processes, especially if you want a job in a competitive field. And remember when German universities were excited to welcome Canadian students? That's changed too. Now they're being more selective, turning away more students, all because of tighter immigration limits. But that's not the saddest part. Germany has taken in a large number of refugees and migrants over the past few years. And while this shows compassion, it has stretched local resources painfully thin. In some towns and cities, people are feeling the pressure, tensions are rising, especially where jobs and social services are limited. For Canadians visiting those areas, the government now warns, be extra careful, and here's a reality check that will shock you even more. The cost of living in Germany has exploded. Cities like Berlin and Hamburg used to be affordable. Now, rent prices have gone through the roof. Even buying basic things like food or paying for transport has become a real struggle for many. Protests and strikes are becoming more common as people fight to keep up with daily life. Germany, once known for peace, structure, and order, is now feeling less stable, more anxious. So before you book that flight to Europe and dream of walking German streets filled with history and charm, ask yourself, is Germany still the easy, safe destination it once was? The red tape, the high costs, the rising tension, it's a lot to think about. 2025 has changed the way Canadians travel. What once felt simple and exciting now carries real risks, more rules, and deeper sadness. But here's the most important part: knowledge is power. If you stay informed, you can stay safe, you can make better choices, and protect yourself and your loved ones. If this story opened your eyes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let others know what's really happening out there. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth, raw, real, and human. Stay safe, stay aware, and always think before you travel.